Number 9. This week is about the boring shit, but I think it's gonna end up making me an incredible entrepreneur. The boring shit is things like, the email marketing template you don't want to update, the taxes you don't want to learn about nor file, the budgeting, the human resources with the onboarding program and the training program. So this week is more boring on that front because I've been doing a lot of HR. So I've been outlining the onboarding process, outlining the training program. Because like I said in the last video, I got a new CTO on board. So my biggest focus is going to be developing a sales team, and his biggest focus is going to be developing the tech team, developers to start building out the site for the creators and for the students. And then I'm going to be with SDRs who are reaching out to students, and then probably hire someone to do the email marketing campaign for the physicians and the professors. But it's really about the boring shit, right? So tech companies scale really fast when you get it right. And I have a weird feeling that this one's going to get it right. And, the interface, the user experience, it might have to iterate, might have to solve some problems, and definitely will. But this is a good idea. And a lot of the medical students I've been talking to, like I do the outreach myself. I'm going to hire SDRs to do the role that I'm doing. And pretty much all of them have been interested in it and think it's a good idea. So we're just going to kind of go with the market and build it how students would want it. But my point with that is, if we're constantly moving so fast and getting so much feedback from students, we're going to need some really fucking good systems in place to sustain that growth. So next up, my biggest focus within Archi. Obviously, you have the little shit, you have everything that I have to do, and I'm still going to do all that, right? As an entrepreneur, you got to get it done. Like the founder just has to do it. But the biggest focus is going to be developing managers, and specifically the CTO, because it's kind of a marriage, right? If you're a partner, you kind of have to trust them and grow with them. So my biggest focus is going to be growing myself, because I'm one of the managers, and also other managers. So how can I teach them how to do one-on-ones as effectively as possible? And in retrospect, how can I teach myself how to do one-on-ones as effectively as possible? How can the CTO and I grow together? Because that's really how far the company will go. The company will go as far as we go, and as far as, as high as we are. What the fuck am I saying? If we aren't, good managers, we aren't good salespeople, well then, we're probably not going to have good employees, right? If we're not good at managing them and motivating them and inspiring them and creating through them, well, the results are going to reflect that. So the biggest focus is always myself, but developing the managers that I bring on, because if you can, develop an impeccable C-suite, like, 6, 10, people in your C-suite, and you can develop them into phenomenal leaders. I mean, you could put them in any industry and they'll just kick everyone's ass. And you combine that with developing yourself into the best CEO that you can possibly be. And then it doesn't really matter what industry or where you're in, you're going to win. But specifically in tech, and ed tech is something that a lot of people are going to start competing in, right? I see CZ starting at K through 12. Hermosi's doing school. And so a lot of people are hopping on this, and it's going to be a big battle, a big war. But if I focus on the managers and focus on the C-suite, it'll trickle down, and they'll be able to find and inspire the best employees, and then we'll have the best people working for us. And I think that's what a lot of the best CEOs understand. And so it's something I'm going to have to learn to do and also develop myself into it. And so lastly, my morning habit, instead of writing out my goals, I meditate. And probably the biggest reason I made the switch is the prospect of what was coming was weighing on me. So I read a lot of books and I do a lot of digging, and I understand the trials and tribulations that entrepreneurship brings. And so I think that was weighing on me and kind of stressing me out. It was like a pre-stress, right? It's like my brain, gearing up and getting ready for it. So I really needed to learn, and I still think I need to learn, how to get my mind right, how to be able to control those emotions. Because I think that is the most important factor to happiness, or, living a good life, right? They say monks are the happiest people. Makes sense, because their emotions go like this. Whereas, you or I, if we don't do anything and we're in highly stressful situations, we're fucking haywire. And I don't think that's healthy. I'd rather be, someone that's doing epic shit but stoic in the approach, as I've mentioned. So I'm really trying to get my mind right, because I know that the energy input is there and it's going to continue to be there. And so the company is going to take off. I know it's going to take off, but I need to make sure I don't lose my shit in the process. And I think meditating is a great way to do that. And also I think it will actually help me be a better CEO, because the entire idea and premise of meditation is to focus, right? You're focusing on your breath. And then you're supposed to take your focus off the breath and then just focus on nothing. But just focusing on the breath, I feel like then will translate into me being able to focus on business tasks. So I actually think it's a business play. And then also, when shit hits the fan in the business, instead of flipping shit, being stressed out, being burnt out, have to take a week off, I'm just, okay, how do we fix it? How do we solve the problem? So time will tell how the change will impact me, but I'm noticing a tad bit of a difference in the first few days of doing it. But yeah, meditating is something that I think I'll keep around for a long time. So that's it for this one.